Good morning. Big stretch. It's the Drake Toll Show. 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 46 seconds. Coming to you live from Savannah, Georgia. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas, Locked On Big 12, Amazon Fire TV's college football kickoff, and most importantly, Drake Toll from this right here. You and me, not I. You and me hanging out talking about sports. And you know what happened yesterday? Can I open this show being honest with you? I want to predicate this show. Build it on trust. Build it on honesty. I was sitting in my electric shed yesterday where I record this thing every day remotely from Savannah, Georgia. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. That makes up the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I'm sitting in my electric shed, and I've told you many times before that I quad box every morning. I watch the 4 major sports networks, sports news networks, and see what they're talking about. Wondering, I've got a list. Today we're going to get to Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. We're going to talk about college basketball last night and how electric it was. We're going to get to the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. You're like, I don't even care. You do. You don't know why you care yet, but I can explain it to you. We'll get to the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team declining an invite to the State of the Union and how it actually wasn't really a political statement at all. And if you're mad about it, I think we're just kind of picking things to be mad about. I'll get to all that. I was watching the telly yesterday, around about this time. A dude came on there and said, what if Myles Garrett is traded to the Detroit Lions? And I thought, I must have missed something. I did not know my friend Myles Garrett was going to the Detroit Lions. I did not know that headline was big enough that I should be tracking that. So I did a little Google. Nothing. There's no world in which Myles Garrett is going to the Detroit Lions. There's no smoke. There's no anything. They just, on February 23rd, the year of our Lord, 2026, are like, hey, man, I don't know. What if Victor Wembanyama played for the Atlanta Hawks? No, he wouldn't. It's not going to happen. It's just a hypothetical we pulled out of the air. Someone in production just said, hey, what if we talked about Myles Garrett as a Detroit Lion? All right, cool. Make it a segment, whatever. But today, no, there's too many things going on. There's too much happening that I know you as a real sports fan that you get, that you care about, that you want to see. And it's not Myles Garrett to the Detroit Lions. It's not, hey, well, what if next season, hear me out, what if Shohei Ohtani, come on, you tracking? What if he played for the Milwaukee Brewers? I don't know. Maybe the day will come where we talk about it. But today I've got stories. And today, I want to start us a little different than I expected to, because the news came down the pipeline later in the day yesterday. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather will fight. In other breaking news, my grandfather and our elderly neighbor will also be fighting. They will be throwing punches, and you can pay probably a lot less to see that. By the time these two men step into the ring in September, both will be into their Masters Division years. Floyd Mayweather turns 49 today, actually. Dead or alive, Addie Bates, Floyd Mayweather?
Alive.
How old?
Would you say 49?
She listens to the show. We are going to have a September Grandpa Derby. 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather. They're going to wheel him out there, wheelchair, prop him up, Weekend at Bernie's style. And by fight night, he'll be almost 50, and he has not fought a sanctioned professional bout since 2017 against Conor McGregor. Remember Conor McGregor. Manny Pacquiao, 47 years old. But the difference this time around, compared to 10, 12 years ago when they fought for the first time, Pacquiao is active. WBC welterweight champion, fought that guy, in 2025. Exhibitions against Russian guys this year. But in boxing terms, 49, 47, that's ancient. Yeah, they're in good shape, but they're 49 and 47. No more lightning flash reflexes. No more 2015 when that was fun to watch. This is less about who's the best in the world and more about who aged better. Who did time not take a toll on its body? You want to watch that? Do you want that? Here's what they gained, though. 2015, that fight generated $600 million. This should not be $600 million. But they're partnering with Netflix, and I can guarantee you the payout, is going to be pretty darn good. But they're going to wheel them both out there. I would like to know, Weekend at Bernie's was a good movie, and it did well. And now, in reference to old people dying or the dead being propped up as living, the only real reference we have in popular media is, man, they're going to have to Weekend at Bernie's that guy. Wheel him out there. There's no competitor to that statement. I had a conversation about that in our office at the Bananas the other day. What a monopoly Weekend at Bernie's has on that concept. Nobody else tried to do it. Addie, you've never seen Weekend at Bernie's. It's before your time.
Yep, it is. I don't even know who Andrew McCarthy is. Never
what?
heard of her. No, he's like one of my little 80s crushes. We've talked about that. Love Weekend at Bernie's.
He's the old guy?
No.
Okay. Good to know. Last night, men's basketball. Houston falls at Kansas, losing their third straight game for the first time since 2017. Oh, do you want to know who those three games were against? Let me assist you. At number 6, Iowa State. Against number 4, Arizona. At number 14, Kansas, who never loses in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. However, it looked like for a large portion of the first half, Kansas was going to lose at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Very slow start for the Jayhawks, who would end up leading by as many as 20 points in the second half of this game before coming away with a 69-56 win over the Houston Cougars. Yes, nice. Over the Houston Cougars. Darren Peterson, remember the guy that we ragged on yesterday for not playing? He played 30 minutes, which is fourth most on the roster, 14 points, 5 for 14 shooting, 4 rebounds, and was a contributor to why Kansas won. In an even better clash in college basketball yesterday, North Carolina knocked off Louisville. Number 18, North Carolina at home against number 24, Louisville, 77-74. Game went right down to the last 0.4 seconds. Also electric. Both of those teams will be in March Madness. Louisville now 20-8, 9-6 in ACC play, and North Carolina 22-6, 10-5 in ACC play. I can tell you, if you're watching college basketball, Seth Trimble at North Carolina, real deal. Experience, senior-laden rosters, they're going to win in March. Elsewhere in sports, the U.S. women's hockey team declines an invite from President Trump to the State of the Union. And a lot of people are freaking out over this. Look, I'm going to give you my thoughts that are pretty apolitical. And there is that whole stance of, you can only be apolitical. That is something you are blessed by if you're apolitical. That is something that you should take for granted that you're apolitical. Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I won't take it for granted. I'm happy that I can be apolitical and not have to speak out. I can talk about sports and be the sports guy. So know that I'm entering this conversation as the sports guy who doesn't really care. Like Josh Pate had the president on his podcast this week, and it didn't do very well. The views weren't great. He lost 30,000 followers. And you know what? Whatever. You're going to forget about it in 6 months. We're all going to forget about it in 6 months. I'll still listen to Josh Pate's stuff. Like I just don't. I don't know if I have enough time. Oh, maybe that's what it is. I don't know if I have enough time to truly care that Josh Pate's talking to the president or the U.S. women's hockey team is not going to the White House. if that's so much on my radar that I need to that over the course of my day I'm going to be bothered by it. Now, here's the deal. Here's what is kind of bothersome, actually, and you know what? I'm cool with being on the right side of history here. Following the USA men's hockey team winning gold, Kash Patel, the FBI director, was in the U.S. locker room. Again, I don't know if I really care about this. There are people on social media saying, well, Nancy Guthrie's mom is still missing. Well, no. Nancy Guthrie is the mom? It's a tough one. Savannah Guthrie's mom is missing Nancy Guthrie. Why is the FBI director in the locker room for Team USA? I don't have enough time to care about that. I don't. But, right side of history, I do care that during a phone call, Kash Patel on speakerphone has the president with the United States hockey team. That also don't really care about. But during the call, Trump says, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. Do you know that? I believe I'd probably be impeached if I didn't. So he talked about, he joked about, well, we can't wait to have you guys to the White House, but guess we got to invite the women's team too, or they'll impeach me. And stupid joke, yeah. Tongue in cheek, yeah. I mean, the women just won gold at the Olympics, top of the world, and were dominant in doing so. I don't think that throwing shade at them is fair or necessary. It's actually, in a world where you can either make fun of the U.S. Olympic hockey team for winning gold or not make fun of them, then how about we not make fun of them? But I don't think the response from the U.S. women's team is all wrapped up in oh, he made a joke about us, we're mad, we're not going to go do that. Because the team yesterday, following their 2-1 victory over Canada, and after President Trump did not extend yet, that we know of, an invitation for the White House, he did extend an invitation to the State of the Union, which is happening tonight, February 24th. Quick turnaround, huh? So yesterday, Monday, the team had to decline the invitation. Here's why. A spokesperson for the USA hockey team cited previously scheduled academic and professional commitments. Many players, Caroline Harvey's an example, are college students. 16 others play the PWHL. Hey, we just got home from Milan after being there for a month. We're either in college classes right now, because that's what the Olympic side of the on the women's side, what the Olympics look like, or we're already playing in our PWHL, in our league. So they just can't go. And now it's this whole, un-American. They hate our country. Oh, no. That's not exactly what this is. Like, genuinely, they're probably a bit perturbed by the joke. Oh, guess we got to invite the women's team, too. Yeah, that would, if I just won gold medal. Like my sister, right? And if you're someone out there, you're thinking like, oh, it was a harmless joke. Yeah, like my sister plays college softball. If she won a gold medal at the Olympics, and the president said, guess I got to invite her to the White House. That would suck, right? Your daughter, your sister, your mom, your aunt. Like, that would suck if they won a gold medal at the Olympics and it was brushed off by the president of the United States. Surely they're a bit upset. And maybe a few of the team members said, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to go hang out there. I don't care. But if this is something you're freaking out over today, aren't there better things to freak out about? Aren't there better things to worry about? WNBA, same thing. There are a lot of people who are like, well, the WNBA doesn't make revenues. They shouldn't even be paid. You only get paid what you make. Yeah, that's you probably had that saying forever. Get paid what you make. If you make money, you get paid. If you don't make money, you don't get paid. You get fired. Thing is, though, is here's where you've got to be. You've got to understand. They do make money now, and I know it's not always been the most lucrative thing. But for the first time ever, the league hit revenue milestones, 2025, and it triggered a payout to the players, $8 to $9 million. And there's a collective bargaining agreement conversation going on right now where the WNBA mandated that by March 10th, that's where we need to have a handshake agreement by March 10th, because if a deal isn't reached by then, their May 8th season opener is at risk. And again, you're saying, oh, I don't care about WNBA. I ain't going to watch that. I'm not making you watch this. I'm not. I'm telling you, this is a league that is now making money, and the players don't feel as though they're being paid fairly based on the money they're bringing in. So if you said, hey, they made $0, they shouldn't get paid. They shouldn't be, complaining about money. Well, I struggle to argue with that one. But now they are making money. So we should pay them, right? We should pay them. The league is proposing a $5.65 million cap, while the WNBA Players Association has asked for a cap as high as $9.5 million. It's a $4 million discrepancy. That would ensure middle-class, quote, middle-class players are paid fairly. And talks of a supermax reaching $850,000 to $1 million. They don't get paid. I'd say they don't get paid that well because it's a comparison game between the women and the men, WNBA and NBA. I would take $1 million, but I get it. It's a comparison game, WNBA to NBA. What do you get paid based on your revenue? That's a flashpoint. Players want league-mandated housing, too. 2-bedroom apartment for the moms of the league, while the league's current proposal focuses more on studios and for younger players. They're asking for normal stuff. Hey, can we at least just, have an apartment, please? And can you give us the money we made? That's the conversation. And the Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire, 2 brand new teams to the WNBA. Would love to be here, would love to hang out, would love to play. But these CBA talks are halting a whole lot of that. I'll keep you updated. That's why you care. That's why you should care. Is there are hardworking Americans, working Americans, who are not going to get paid based on the revenue model that based on the revenue they're bringing in, and the revenue model in front of them is rigged against them. Yeah, it's bad. We can all agree that is bad. On the other side, yeah, Seth Trimble, North Carolina, the Houston Cougars, the Kansas Jayhawks. We just flipped college basketball on its head last night. Here's why. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The Cowboys are reportedly open to trading.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind, for you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, praying for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you are so lonely, pray for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue?
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. It is a great way to start the day. It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Yeah, man, think about it. Think about sentience. The opportunity for you to think and to be alive and to live and to love and to laugh and to cry. You know, like you're real. You have this moment. You and I have this moment together where you're in your car, you're driving home from the gym, you're leaving your house to go to work, and you're real, man. It's all real. Touch yourself. It's real. Like, touch yourself. Feel a little bit. That's the beauty of this show. And to bookend that last conversation, it's crazy. I just saw a tweet. 6 players on the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team, Wisconsin Badgers. That's crazy, man. These gals, they gotta go back to college or going back to school. Surely they would love to be at the State of the Union, but they cannot, because they have to go to do the learning. You always told them to get a higher education. Now they're doing it. Last night in college basketball. Let me take you through what we saw first, what I watched first with UNC, Seth Trimble, and a North Carolina Tar Heels team that I think I'm still not buying. I'm sorry. I don't believe they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in March. On a big Monday, it's awesome. I love watching the 18th ranked team in the country against the number 24 team in the country on Big Monday. That is fun in that vacuum. Do I think that either of these teams will be a factor come March? I do not. I do not think their acumen stacks up with the top of college basketball in a year where the game is so top-heavy. This is the same North Carolina team that lost 82-58 to NC State, 75-66 to Miami. I haven't forgotten those. I haven't forgotten their losses to Stanford and Cal, and those were a while ago. They've been a lot better since. But the NC State loss, the Miami loss, it tells me that they're good, they're fine, they're the 20th best team in the country. Their win last night at home, which got very hairy, tells me they're good, they're fine. There was a defining moment, though, that put UNC up by a 16-point margin in the second half. And it's when Seth Trimble dunked a ball that fell through the floor and into Middle Earth. And the whole place went nuts. Here's what it sounded like on ESPN.
Picked off! Trimble out in front, and the slam!
Talked about staying down in a defensive stance and staying attached to the likes of Mikael Brown Jr. Seth Trimble, one of the best defenders in the game of college basketball, and look at this athleticism. Literally flushing the ball. The way he jumps sometimes reminds me. Talked about staying down in a defensive stance and staying attached to the likes of Mikael.
Yeah, all right. Cool. You would think that moment would do it. Just, icing, cake, meet each other, let's go home. We're up by 20 points. But no, Louisville would rally and make this a ball game. And that's got to be frustrating for North Carolina, given the position you'd put Louisville in with their down 16 in the second half. That they would rally back and make this a 77-74 final. I don't like that if I'm North Carolina. And last night, for the Tar Heels, fun win again. They shot lights out. This was a home game win. They shot 30 for 56, 54%. That's a home game win. They were terrible at the free throw line, 9 of 19. That doesn't win in March. They got out-rebounded 41-32, 16-7 on the offensive glass. That doesn't scream March to me. 40 points in the paint versus Louisville's 24 is pretty good. But Louisville even led this game by 10 points. This was a weird, funky, fun game that I enjoyed. But do I think either of these teams hold a bearing on March Madness? I do not. I currently do not. Across the way, I am buying the opposite for Kansas and Houston. Darren Peterson played last night. Darren Peterson played, and he played well. Did he prove to me he's the number one overall draft pick? No. A.J. DeBonsa is still that. The conversation is still going on whether or not Darren Peterson, who is this Kansas guard that refuses to play full minutes, this Kansas guard refuses to play full minutes, but might also be the number one overall pick in the NBA draft, has taken the world by storm. They're wondering, okay, is this fair to Kansas? Is it fair to the coaching staff, to his teammates, if the kid just doesn't really want to play? I don't think so. Dick Vitale said, let's divorce. Let's call it quits. Let's be done here. But what if he's really good at college basketball? And when he does play, it elevates the Kansas Jayhawks to a national championship level. Here is that same Darren Peterson. End of the first half, an 11-0 run for the Kansas Jayhawks that brought Fog Allen down.
So Kansas with Peterson back in there. Peterson at the basket, slithers in and hits. Well, they put him back in. He slithered to the goal like a rattlesnake and then was able to put it in. An 11-0 run to close the half.
John Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla on the call at ESPN. They slithered through the paint and put it in. It's Kingston Flemings, I should say, was also a highlight last night in a game where Houston trailed by as many as 20 points on the evening, breaking a freshman scoring record. He's one of the reasons that I think Houston will be a factor, be a Final Four team in 2026. I'll explain that after you hear from ESPN what it sounded like when history was made.
Find their groove on the offensive end. Flemings, jumper is good.
That's it. Congrats. Credit to the ESPN crew for doing an incredible job of making sure that moment is remembered forever. That audio will go down as one of the audios of all time.
My favorite part about that was he goes, Flemings? Like, he was like, there was the question mark on there. Like, he did not know who he was talking about.
Can I hear it again, please?
Find their groove on the offensive end. Flemings, jumper is good.
That's it? That's the whole audio clip?
Flemings?
Why is that in the highlights today?
6 seconds of glory.
That is what the company sends us, and I actually need to read the email from this morning. This company went out of business, apparently, so this Friday will be the last day we have stuff from Preps. RIP Preps. They'll be in our obituary.
Why was that a highlight?
I send it as available sound that comes to me. We don't have to use it.
They drug test over there?
Man dribbles the ball, puts it up, it's good. That's it. That's the whole clip. That's the whole clip.
Flemings?
Congratulations on the record to Kingston Flemings. Sorry that we weren't more excited about that, I guess. Goes up for the jumper. It's good.
Flemings?
That's the whole highlight. Fade away. Got it. And that's it, folks. The record. There it is. That's how it sounded on ESPN. All right, great. This was a conversation, Kansas and Houston, of whether or not Houston would lose 3 straight games, which they have not done since 2017. That's an insane thing, by the way. Some of the most elite teams in the country have still lost 3 straight because that happens. Like, you can lose 3 straight and still be very, very good. Lose 7 or 8 games total in your season and go into March and be okay. It was either Houston loses its 3rd consecutive game, and I told you a second ago they're all to really good teams, or the Kansas Jayhawks lose back-to-back games at Allen Fieldhouse after losing to Cincinnati at home. Houston, their losses were to number 6 Iowa State, number 4 Arizona, and at number 14 Kansas. That Iowa State game was also on the road. They were all pretty close games. Aside from this Kansas contest, man, for as good as Houston looked in the first half, for as solid as they looked, 56 is their lowest output of the season, points-wise. The offense never got going in a smooth rhythm, even in the first half. This was kind of a knockdown, drag-out, rock fight. It's what Houston wanted to make it. And Kansas nearly cleared 70 points, had 38 in the second half alone, led by as many as 20. Houston, 32% from the field, 21 for 66. And there will be Houston fans who say, I watched this game and I thought that the referees are not very good. I thought it was that fall gallon home cooking, that home whistle for the Jayhawks. And yes, we're always going to use that excuse in college basketball. It's our favorite excuse to use because Kansas shot 20 free throws, Houston shot 9. So if you tell me that, the first thing I'm going to think is not that, the referees must have been terrorists who are paid by Kansas to ensure that Houston loses. My first thought is, well, if we look at the two teams, is Houston the more physical team? Are they expected to foul more? Excuse me. Is Houston basketball a physical team? They take you to war every night. It's not the refs. An 11 free throw disparity makes some sense in a Houston basketball game. And the Cougars shot 9 of their own, made 9 of their own. The difference last night, rebounds, namely defensive rebounds. Kansas had 38 boards, Houston 33. The Jayhawks looked better on the glass. Oh, and by the way, their perimeter defense was solid. Houston was 5 for 24. Missed a couple open ones, but 5 for 24 from deep. That's 21%. That's not good. It's not going to win you the game on the road. Houston led this game 37% of the time, by as many as 8. But the second half, Kansas Jayhawks made this game non-competitive at points and won the game by 13 overall against Houston. So you're saying, well, then why do you think Houston's going to be a factor in March Madness? They just lost. They lost by double digits. Joseph Tugler, Kingston Flemings, Milo Suzanne, Emmanuel Sharp. It is the Sharp or Tugler age, experience, right? Tugler's a guy you watched last year in March Madness and thought those sideburns are wild. That mixed with Kingston Flemings, that's what makes Houston so good. They've got a young star, but they have old Emmanuel Sharp, Uzan, Tugler. They have old talent that can win, that has been there, that's played in March. Kansas, when Darren Peterson's out there and he's playing at the top level, they've got older guys. Melvin Council Jr. looked good again last night. 14 points, I think is what he's averaging this year. Trey White was great. 23 points for the Kansas Jayhawks. He's a senior. Age for these two teams, age for the top teams in the Big 12 is what has been the difference in that conference. Iowa State, Taman Lipsey, Milan Momcilovic. There's a reason they're so good. Arizona's got a couple of older guys sprinkled in there with a dominant Braden Burries, Koa Pete freshman class. The top end of the Big 12 is Final Four caliber. Kansas can be Final Four caliber when each of those guys play. Now, what's also true about the Kansas Jayhawks is they lost a home game to Cincinnati. What's also true about Texas Tech is they lost JT Toppin. That's another big piece as to why their season may go a little bit differently than expected. But they lost a game to UCF. Not as though these teams of the Big 12 cannot trip up or won't trip up, but they're too elite to have to make mistakes and lose ball games. However, they've also each proven, Arizona to Houston to Iowa State to Kansas to BYU to Texas Tech, they've proven they can win games against top 5 opponents. Kansas now has 3 wins against top 5 teams this year at home. 3 top 5 wins. College football, that put you in a different stratosphere if you did that in the regular season. It is tied for the most in the AP poll era. When we come back, Biggest Losers, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Progressivecommercial.com. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I had no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. It's fairly well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps he'll die upon this train. You can bury me in Sunny Valley for many years where I may lay. And you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. From the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12, Amazon Fire TV's college football kickoff. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. $2,500 on Paul McCartney tickets, huh?
I said it was a birthday gift for my dad and I, and it was more of like my mom.
You know, you can buy certain cars for $2,500 to get you places. Vroom, vroom.
It's also Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Won't live forever, will he?
No. And I'm a huge Beatles fan. Like, my first tattoo I ever got was a Beatles tattoo. Like, everything. I was almost supposed to be named after one of the Beatles, but things happened, and now I'm Addie.
You were almost Ringo, huh?
Yeah, I was going to be Ringo.
Okay, a girl named Star. You can
Go
be
Bates.
Last name could be Star. Not well. His last name was Star. Yes, your last name can be Star.
Well, his name is Richard
I
Starkey.
can't. Oh, jeez. You could be named Star. That's what I'm trying to say.
That sounds like a movie star, like a X-rated movie star name.
Oh, an adult movie star?
Yes, Star.
If I called you Star Bates?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I
Even
don't
Even worse
know.
when you say it all at once.
Which Beatle were you almost named after?
John Lennon. My name is going to be Lena.
Okay, well, Lena's not his name.
It's the female version. But now I'm Adele and Juliet. That's where we're at now.
And you went and named your cat
Sinatra Bublé. We have very refined names over here. Like, they're classy. For non-classy ladies, you know? Just the cat and Addie. Addie and the cat. Your dog's name is Dog C. Toll. Drake C. Toll.
Curtis, can you please play that basketball highlight again?
Find their groove on the offensive end. Fleming's jumper is good.
Fleming?
That's it. That's the whole highlight. You get no context. You get no time, no score, no record. That's it.
It was
I
good.
don't think they knew he broke the record.
Yeah, but what are we? Okay. That could have been a clip from any basketball game of all time where a guy named Flemings played.
Didn't have to use it.
I didn't know. I gotta vet this stuff more intensely. This could be on me.
We should blame preps.
Yep. Well, we can't anymore. Don't kick them while they're down. It's time for our biggest losers of the day. Loser number one. This is interesting. Dan McDowell-ish. Very just tough what happens here. I've got the audio of it, but let me tee it up for you. Louisville and Michigan are playing a baseball game at Globe Life Field in Arlington, and Michigan's about to hit a home run while the Louisville coach is mic'd up and on the broadcast, and immediately after the home run, the announcer's like, all right, coach, see you later. Here you go.
It's such a roller coaster of a year, so it was a great metaphor or analogy to say, hey guys, man, just be ready. We'll go through some tough moments.
This ball crushed by Lanahoff up the left field line and out with the home run. Coach, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for the time. Best of luck this year.
All right, thank you.
Well, no doubter off the bat of Cade Lanahoff. And what's the worst thing that can happen during a coach's interview? The opposing team hits a home run. That's why we let him go. Pretty much ends the interview. But Cade Lanahoff not being very kind to Dan McDonald's time on the mic.
Pretty awesome. All right, well, see you later, coach. Come on. He's a big boy. He can stay on the microphone even though his team just let up a home run. We'll let you go, coach. Thanks. Second biggest loser of the day. Biggest loser of the day. Darren Peterson. This has become kind of a trend. Here's what Jay Billis had to say on ESPN about Darren Peterson just being done, possibly.
My thing, Rich, is if Darren Peterson were really getting advice from people about shutting it down would be the easy way to go, and the NBA would take him number one. Trying to play is what's causing, these speculative issues about his character and all that other stuff. I don't find it fair. But, if we had solid information that said so, then I'm good with it. But I think it's been a little bit unfair. And the kid doesn't talk. Like, he may do a little press event or something like that, but he really doesn't talk much. And, look, if you were listening to me, I'd say the more you talk, the more people will know you. And he never had this problem in high school. Nobody ever questioned his competitiveness. But, man, when that dude plays, there is not much question. There are not many like him. He is the real deal.
Yeah, there are not many like him. I agree with that. I also want to make it clear he, based on his actions and just out of context, that quote is awesome. The kid just doesn't talk. The kid just can't speak. Watching this saga unfold, really good basketball player. The only problem is he doesn't really want to play basketball in college. Watching it unfold, I don't want him on my team. I don't want him playing for my franchise. Whatever NBA organization goes after him, okay, good luck. But while Billis says there are not many like him, there are very few like him. A.J. Devonta is. Cam Boozer is. There are other options. Plenty of other options in college basketball to take in the NBA draft. Also, biggest loser from Local 12, WKRC TV. Oh, buckle up for this one. A Kentucky man, we're not afforded his name, I wish we were. A Kentucky man, reportedly covered in fur, was taken into custody Okay, what could he have done? After he was allegedly caught doing the dirty with a dead deer on the side of the road. And whatever you're picturing the guy looking like, yep, you nailed it. Big old nasty bald spot on top of his head, but with some long scraggly hairs that he's got like if Paul Feinbaum just grew his hair out. He's got that kind of haircut. And the world's worst massive beard. Don't have fornication with a dead deer on the side of the road. Biggest winners today, my friend Brandon from the bowling team at Wichita State. Brandon, what say you?
He's done it! Brandon Bonta, a perfect 300 to win the Players' Championship.
Congratulations, man. That was awesome. Come on, baby! Let's go! Come on!
Brandon Bonta, world champion. Addie, you're the bowling gal. What do you got on this?
Yeah, so he graduated from Wichita State. This is his rookie year. This is, I think, the
Oh, he's a
second
rookie.
Yeah, this is a rookie year, and he's going against EJ Tackett, multiple Player of the Year awards. EJ Tackett's amazing, and he shoots a 300 on live TV to win this tournament. Just incredible. Like, he's a rookie. It's amazing. He's a super nice guy, so, you know, a great person to happen to. So now he won the $100,000 prize.
What's the mist and the breeze?
What?
It's not the... What's happening right now? It's just there's women's basketball highlights on TV. I just don't know who the mist and the breeze are. You got anything on that? You're the producer. You're supposed to know stuff. It's
Yeah,
women.
and you went like a totally different... All right.
Okay. Brandon Bonta, congratulations. Wichita State. Finally, another biggest winner, Flava Flav. He sends an all call to the women's national hockey team, reaching out on behalf of Flava Flav. Congrats on the gold. Saw the story about the men's invite to the White House and not quite the invite for the women. Flav recently posted on social media an idea. He's inviting the women's ice hockey team to Las Vegas for a real celebration. Oh. He always stands behind everything he says and does, which I've heard that a lot about Flava Flav. It's one of my favorite parts about Flava Flav is his honesty. If there's an interest for the team to come to Vegas, celebrate with Flav, we will figure it out on our end and make it a lovely experience. I wanted you to know that the offer is real and have my contact information. Flav is pretty flexible on timing except March 14th through 16th. What else is Flava Flav doing? What else? What is he booked for March 14th through 16th? Addie, you're the producer. You know things. You're supposed to...
Yeah, he'll
know
probably
that.
be at New Orleans St. Patrick's Day parade if I had to guess.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know going on.
Flava Flav. Around the bend, our obituaries. Who died today? 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Obituaries in the quickie coming up. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Our naked bodies go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now how do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall? I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo and all. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Dancing with shadows, it's dark in the valley. I've come a long way to bring you my love.
It is the Drake Toll Show. kind of nice. I don't know if the deep sigh was necessary. I don't know what that was. Gotta scare myself.
Start that. Try again. Try again.
Man. Do you have the power, Curtis, to fast forward like a minute and 48 seconds into this song?
No, they don't pay me enough for it.
I didn't know. I figured that probably wasn't in your job.
It started
description.
over, but that's all I can do.
We should probably try the whole rejoin over again without the sigh. Like, just take two.
Just no. I don't know why I did that. Langhorne Slim, Bring You My Love. Good band. Underrated band. Kind of bluesy. You like this? You good? You in? You out?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, all right. The Drake Toll Show. Today is... Hold on. Wait, this is a good part. All right, great. Never mind. Today is International. I Hate Cilantro Day. Thoughts on that?
The older I get, actually, and this is why I'm a bad Mexican American. The older I get, I hate cilantro.
You're a Mexican.
I know I am.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
I know,
Cilantro's spectacular.
It's weird. Like, once I became a teenager, that's when it started, like, tasting like soap. I used to love it. I loved it.
It is one or the other, though. It's either you love it or you hate it and think it tastes like soap. There is no in between anymore.
And so I'm actually, like, I'm mad about it. Like, I'm mad.
There's an in between. I think there are people who are indifferent on cilantro. You think it's just like a political issue? You're
No,
either
like it
left
is.
or
Like
right
it is
on
like
cilantro?
a thing.
walls,
Like,
dude.
it is like a known thing. Like, it either tastes like soap or it doesn't.
It does not to me. It tastes spectacular, and I love it. And I go to Chewy's and I get the salsa. It's got cilantro in it. Now what?
That's different. Yeah, if it's in things, I just don't like it like by itself. Like when I'm like,
Oh my God, who's eating cilantro raw? Who's just eating cilantro? Why would you ever? Why?
you know, like whenever you get pho
Oh
and
my
like
God.
they'll give you like cilantro that you can like pick. Have you ever had pho?
What? Yes, but what in the world did you? Who assumed we were talking about just raw, bare ass cilantro?
Brother, you could still like when it's mixed in salsa, I cannot taste it. But like whenever it's like whenever you get it, like when you have pho and you just put it on top and stuff, and it's not fully like blended, anything like that, then I can taste it.
Well, yeah, don't eat wasabi. Don't like.
Oh, I
lick
love
your
wasabi.
finger and dip it in tahini. You know,
I love tahini.
Those are great with other things, but if you just do them alone, it's not supposed to be good. Yes, cilantro tastes like soap when you just eat it and think, soap.
Yeah, but it's not by it. Oh my gosh, it's not by itself. You're missing what I'm saying. It's like it's whenever it's like mixed in with something because the way salsa is made, it's more mixed versus like when you put it on like pho or on top of something. Am I like speaking a different language? Is this
A
thing
little
on?
bit, a little
Is this
bit.
thing on?
It's just a little frustrating to me to think that you would go in on cilantro here and then.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
I just think cilantro. If you're saying that's a good accompaniment with salsa, then you don't hate cilantro.
With
You just
salsa or
only-
in salsa?
in salsa. You just hate cilantro. You hate the idea of it. And when
No.
you can notice it as like a defining ingredient, as like the main ingredient, you don't like it. Like, I can taste that. Which that makes sense. That's fine. But you're fine with cilantro and salsa.
Oh my
So you
goodness.
you cannot subscribe to International I Hate Cilantro Day.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how to like explain this. There are certain things you hate when it's by themselves, but when they're mixed in with other stuff, they create different flavors, create different umami flavors or whatever. It's different. This is cooking 101.
Yeah.
This is more than just adding salt and pepper to things.
Right. I just don't think you should be able to say you hate cilantro.
Oh my goodness. Drake Toll, like cilantro, like lime rice? No, I don't like cilantro rice. Like I don't like that because there's not enough ingredients in it to like change the flavor. Do you know what I mean?
You're telling me this for the first time.
Does that make sense?
I'm going to need some space.
Okay.
I'm going to need some time to think about it.
We're going to have to, we'll probably talk to a therapist about this. We'll
rehash this. We'll talk to our boss. We'll get Program Director Armin Williams on the phone about your cilantro habits.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just feel like you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like you're not hearing.
You know what?
And so that's why we need to talk about it with Armin.
Dead today. Producer of the Drake Toll Show, Addie Bates.
I live on the 12th floor. I'll do it. I'll do it.
It's not that Addie is dead. It's her producerial role.
You'll get
Curtis
eventually.
Poindexter has been appointed the new producer of the Drake Toll Show.
Oh, that's a mistake. Show's over.
Shows. Addie Bates has been relegated to assistant producer.
Be 3 hours
After-
of me hitting the bonk over and over.
Yeah, you would do that. That day that it was the Addie C. Bates show, she did not. The bonk got her. She couldn't take it.
I was just in my head. I was laughing.
Whoa. Video of the U.S. men's hockey team celebrating at Club 11 in Miami. I've been to 11. It's crazy they're videoing inside of that club because there are typically scantily clad women.
Is that why you were at that club?
No, it's so. I don't love the club. I'm not a club guy. I've been to a fair share, Cocobongo in Cancun. There are, 11 would be classified an adult club. I can't say strip, right? Is that illegal? I don't know.
You just did, so
the
who?
rules on that. It is more like, I don't know, it's just tough. It's Miami. Miami clubs are just different. They're different. And so I would not classify them as adult clubs. It's like, oh yeah, you're here to see women or men who are in the nude. But that is kind of surrounding. It's a weird dynamic in Miami. They do things really different there.
No doubt.
Thank you. Obituaries today. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this right now. I think I do. Actually, can I move some things around here today on the show? You trust me?
Well, I don't know. I thought I was. I don't know. I thought I was dead today. So sure. This is the Drake C. Toll only show. Curtis and I can leave.
I think I'm gonna move some things around. I've got some things that I've got in the back of my brain. I want to bring to the front.
They need me to take, a shot from the front and the back, whatever it is.
Obituary number 2 today would be another quarterback who wants to go to NC State for the next 30 years. Yeah. Phillip Rivers' son, Gunnar Rivers, one of the 10, will follow in his dad's footsteps and play QB at NC State. Phillip played with the Wolfpack from 2000 to 2003. CFB Budge. Retweets. If this trend holds, NC State could have their next 30 years of QBs lined up. Phillip's got a lot of kids, man. They got a lot of kids. Obituary not dead today? Undead? This seagull. We have audio on this? Oh, man.
It's not really for air, but it's just for context.
Yeah, all right. Let's see what this audio is. I think Turkey, a bird got hit when a bird got
It's
a
for
duck.
context for you.
It's a seagull or a duck got hit.
It's
in
a minute
the
of just
air.
crowd noise. I don't know if you really
it's
want to play it or
context
not.
for you,
Okay,
so you
can
know how to.
Can you just play the first 4 seconds of it, please?
Find their groove on the offensive end. Lemmings, jumper is good.
Yeah, record, count it. A bird at a hockey game, at a soccer game in Turkey was hit with a soccer ball after the goalie sent it flying off of his right foot. It looks like the bird did survive after some quick CPR from the players.
Yeah, they did mouth to beak.
Mouth to beak, and the bird's going to be okay. Football game, the headline. Football game stops as player performs CPR on seagull struck by ball in Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Which used to be?
Constantinople. It is a seagull. That is not a duck.
That's seagull, you're right. I just saw webbed feet and I got a bit confused.
I do have sound of the ball hitting the bird, though.
No, you don't. There's no.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
There it is. Those are the obituaries today. I've got, I've just got a lot of thoughts on this whole the women not going to the State of the Union and the men's hockey team, how they responded to the women's gold medal and all that. I think I'll bring that up at length next segment because I've got a lot of thoughts on that. I'd like to air those out, to flesh those out a bit more. In the meantime, it's time for the Quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. Addie Bates reads them. I respond.
All right, here's your first headline. Sirianni can't guarantee A.J. Brown back with the Eagles in 2026.
I can't guarantee I'll get up tomorrow morning, Can't guarantee that I'll be fed lunch today. Can't guarantee that a meteor won't strike the Earth right now, kill all of us. I can't guarantee that it will or won't happen. That's how I feel about that. I mean, okay. It's just a coach speak thing. I can't guarantee it. It's the unknown. It's why Addie, in a world where there is murder and famine and genocide, would you bring up Nick Sirianni to me right now?
Would you like a better headline?
That's a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Manny Pacquiao sets September 19th rematch versus Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Sometimes my aunt and my uncle, my great aunt, my great uncle, they're in their mid-70s. Sometimes they get in like tiffs. They don't physically fight, but they'll argue pretty loudly back and forth. Mid-70s, yeah. This is how I imagine Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Money Mayweather is going to be. There should be, to make it more entertaining, because they're both old, and it's going to be a very bad fight because they're both old. Let's make Floyd Mayweather, in the middle of the bout, read one chapter of the Magic Treehouse. He can pick which Magic Treehouse he wants to read, but he has to read us one chapter of Magic Treehouse. Then I'll watch the fight.
Okay. Diego Pavia, Johnny Manziel make $1,000 bet on video over Vanderbilt QB's NFL combine speed. Johnny saying like, hey, if you can beat my 40, here's some money.
I firmly believe that Diego Pavia is just Johnny Manziel in a different font. And the trajectory of his career, his life, his journey in football is going to be similar to Manziel's, except he won't be drafted as high as Manziel was, which wasn't even that high, by the way. Speaking of high, Johnny Manziel. I am not surprised these two characters are making bets with one another. I worry for Diego Pavia's future if his role model in life is going to be Johnny Manziel. Just a minute.
Lindsey Vonn says surgery saved her from amputation after Olympic crash.
Now that's crazy.
We do have the audio.
Nuts. Yeah, let's go ahead and hear that audio if we can, please. Big Kurt.
I'll give you the full rundown. Basically, I had a complex tibia fracture. Also fractured my fibular head, my tibial plateau, just kind of everything was in pieces. And the reason why it was so complex was because I had compartment syndrome. And compartment syndrome is when you have so much trauma to one area of your body that there's too much blood and it gets stuck. And it basically crushes everything in the compartment. So all the muscle and nerves and tendons, it all kind of dies. Dr. Tom Hackett saved my leg. He saved my leg from being amputated. He did what's called a fasciotomy, where he cut open like both sides of my leg, kind of filleted it open, so to speak. Let it breathe, and he saved me.
Well, that was incredibly disgusting. Yep. Lindsey Vonn's leg is saved.
After being filleted.
She's good. You know, by the way, she doesn't have to ski again. I won't make her. Like you.
How nice of you.
We can go ahead and ride this one off into the sunset. We're good, Lindsay. You did it. You did it for a long time and for America, and we appreciate that. But I'm good. I'm good. Agreed? Disagreed?
Yeah,
yeah.
The idea of somebody's leg being filleted, I can't.
Don't like that. No, I don't like that at all. Final
Okay.
headline, please make
Yeah.
it less gross.
Tigers' Tarek Skubal says he'll make one start for the United States in the World Baseball Classic?
Make it count. You better make it count.
By the way, it's versus Great Britain.
Why? We don't need that. I could start versus Great Britain, and I feel pretty confident.
No, we need him for whenever we're playing, like, the Dominican Republic.
Right. Because notably, the Dominican Republic much better at baseball than Great Britain.
Yeah, I think Great Britain's better at, like, the cricket.
I can throw like 73 from the right side. It's got some natural cut. Yes, it's got some natural cut to it. So, if needed, scuba. We're putting scuba. This may end Great Britain's national team. This may be the last time they ever do baseball when they see Tarek Skubal.
No, it wouldn't be the first time we've taken down Great Britain.
Awesome. That's the quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. And I responded within a minute for each of them. On the other side, so here's what happened. I'll tell you a story. The men's team, United States men's hockey team, wins gold at the Olympics. The president calls them and says, I'm going to invite you to the White House. Guess I got to invite the girls, too. Unnecessary joke. But here's why that's something I think we might be blowing out of the water a little bit. That could sound crazy to you, but I can explain. Up next. This is the Drake Toll Show.
was young, my mama read me nursery rhymes beside my bed. And though they sounded mighty fine, they made no sense to me. Now that I am all grown up, it seems my nights have changed as such. So I went out and made me up a nursery rhyme for me. It goes bar light, bar bright, first bar that I see tonight. Wish I might find someone to hold me tight. Hey, diddle, diddle, the man with the fiddle and the girl sing along with the tunes. Just one more dance till you turn out the lights and you can shut down this saloon. You know, I never understood how a big old gal could raise no kids in a shoe. And any old jack goes jumping a candle needs to find something better to do. And a rub-a-dub-dub 3 men in a tub sure sounds kind of funny to me. So I made up a honky-tonk nursery rhyme, and it's the only one I'll sing. It goes bar light, bar bright, first bar that I see tonight. Wish I might find someone to hold me tight. Hey, diddle, diddle, a man with the fiddle and the girl sing along with the tunes. Just one more dance till you turn out the lights and you can shut down this saloon.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to the ethereal. We're all just floating on a rock somewhere deep in space. And there's a mass of gas hurling itself toward us as we hurtle ourselves toward it. And soon, yes, very soon, the pain, the horror, the suffering will all end as we are consumed in a massive ball of fire. Addie, isn't it your job to keep us on track? It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. This is your 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single day on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. What? What do you have to say, huh?
I just sounded like some Scientologist L. Ron Hubbard, all the suffering will end as we hurl ourselves.
Neil
After
deGrasse
you give
Tyson?
us $100,000.
Wait, let's not put Neil deGrasse Tyson and L. Ron Hubbard in the same conversation.
Okay, well, I was going for the more Neil deGrasse Tyson thing. You can take your L. Ron Hubbard. Was L. Ron Hubbard the one at that church in Kansas, the Baptist church?
No, he's the founder of Scientology.
Oh, didn't know that. Is he their Jesus?
They're dead. He was he was a science fiction writer.
Great. Good to know. All right. The more you know.
Then he made up that.
He did make up some Dianetics.
Okay. Whew. Deep breath. The U.S. Olympic women's hockey team will not be going to the State of the Union address that Donald Trump is having this week. You're going to go to your water cooler today. You're going to go to work. You're going to go to the gym. And someone you know or you don't know, someone you don't care about or you love, you're going to see on Facebook. Those women are anti-American, and I hate them. And because of woke, they do not want to meet the president. And therefore, if they do not support our country, I do not support them. You're going to hear that. This has been, and I think most people in the tight-knit hockey community would agree, completely blown out of proportion. And I'm going to make a statement that I need you to hang on with me for a second. I also think the phone call that Donald Trump made, the president made, to the U.S. Olympic team after winning gold, it's not a bad thing. The president calls the U.S. when they win gold. That to me, that doesn't matter your party lines there. Yeah, it's the president called the FBI director You can have whatever thought you want of the FBI director being in there. President calls the U.S. men's team. They get on the phone, and he says something along the lines of, cannot wait to host you at the White House. We're going to have a ton of fun. Oh, guess we got to invite the women, too. Guess we got to invite the ladies. And all of the U.S. hockey team, the men's hockey team, kind of chuckled. Nobody in that moment stood up for the United States women. Nobody in that moment said, whoa, 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 guys, stop laughing. Hang this phone call up right now. That would be the extreme. That would be the edge of the opposite end of the spectrum. The guys fell somewhere in the middle. They didn't go nuts over it, start high-fiving and jumping up and down and popping champagne because, oh, joke about women, yeah. And I don't think that the people who are burying the men's hockey team are putting themselves in a moment that cannot be recreated. So let's start on the women's side. Them declining the invite to the White House. Not even to the White House, to the State of the Union, which is tonight. What you kind of have to understand is this isn't them being political. They disagree with the joke. They think the joke was stupid, and I agree. If your sister, your daughter, your mom, your aunt, a woman that you love, someone in your life, if they had won a gold medal for the United States of America in front of God and everybody on NBC, and the president's response was, guess I got to invite them to the White House, the women, you wouldn't like that. That's your sister. Your sister just won a gold medal. Your aunt, your cousin, someone you love just got a gold medal across the sea playing for the United States of America. That's awesome. And their victory has been diluted to a joke by the most powerful man in the world. That's not awesome. Am I going to form a protest over this? Should you form a protest? You can. I don't mind. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not going to. This is my form of protest. It's telling you what I think. And I don't need you to believe what I believe, but here's what I would say if I walked into the office today and somebody was complaining about the women's team not going to the State of the Union. The State of the Union's tonight, Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Monday, they declined the invitation. Because certainly the way this went down is after the U.S. men's team won, the thought was in the United States government, let's call them and invite them to the State of the Union. Spokesperson for USA Hockey, not the women, just USA Hockey, said, hey, we have athletes with previously scheduled academic and professional commitments, and we can't make it. That's the reason we can't go. Yeah, we didn't love the joke, but also we just can't be there. Sorry. Caroline Harvey, she's a college student. She has to go back to college to learn. Isn't that what you wanted? Get a higher education, get a degree. She just won gold for the United States. Now she comes back as a college student, sitting in class next to a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. That's wild. 16 other players play in the PWHL. They have to return to their cities as their play resumes on Thursday. They said physically, we just can't go to the State of the Union. Hey, appreciate it? But we're not able to. It's too tight of a turnaround. We have athletes that have to go elsewhere. And then it gets blown up. Oh, the women must hate Donald Trump. The women must hate the government. The women must be woke. Well, now they're kind of giving you a reason. Number one, they should be a bit perturbed by that joke because it's in poor taste and wasn't necessary. Number two, they've got a really good reason to not be there. They can't be there. This was after Trump said on the phone, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You know that? I do believe I'd be impeached if I didn't. And then, the Democratic Women's Caucus labeled the joke misogynistic, demeaning. Oh, yeah, it was demeaning. Yes, and misogynistic. If it was diluting the victory of a woman and diluting what the women have done, yeah, that's what that word means. And the reason that people are so upset is because the men in that moment with Donald Trump did not stop him. The men in that moment did not say, hey, we need you to be respectful of women. And so now a lot of the United States men's team has been labeled as misogynistic themselves, or that they are getting a lot of hate for the way they responded. Matt_NJD on Twitter tweets this. He's a New Jersey Devils fan. Says, hey, what if we all took a deep breath here? We love to be mad at things. And I am not going to hide. I am the straight white guy behind a microphone right here, and I don't have the same feelings, same context, the same background on how you feel about the president making this joke. But here's when he said this. This is kind of how I've tried to articulate it, my thoughts the last couple days. Hating the guys who just bled for their country to earn a gold medal because they giggled at an awkward joke the president of the country they just bled for made after they chugged 6 beers in 13 minutes with dopamine flowing like water. That's a choice. To hate those guys is a choice. Now, I wouldn't label the joke awkward. I think that dilutes it a bit. It was a demeaning joke, a sexist joke that the president of the country made. But you've chugged 6 beers. You just won a gold medal. And who in here, this is the point the guy makes, who in here is going to say, oh, whoa, that's out of line, Mr. President? And you're sitting there and you're thinking, I would do it. I would stand up in front of the 30 people in this room who I just played hockey with. Blood everywhere. I would stand up. And in that moment, I would take the phone and I would say, Mr. President, that was misogynistic. I cannot stand for this. Click. I would hang up on the president. I would take that moment and do something heroic. You can think that. I'm just not sure if you're in the shoes of Jack Hughes, you would be taking the phone out of the FBI director's hand and saying, no, Mr. President. Matt says, I'm not a Trump guy, but getting a congratulatory call from the president, no matter who it is, after winning a gold medal at the Olympics is a moment as American as apple pie. Are you mad the president called a team that won the gold medal? I'm not. He says these are 20-something-year-old kids, high on life, and USA crested Michelob Ultras, and no one's making or thinking of making a political statement in that moment. They laughed at an awkward joke, a bad joke, a sexist joke. And if I had to guess, Matt says, most of them were probably like, what the hell was that joke about after the fact? Because people are starting to hate the men's team, but Jack Hughes, LGBTQ plus advocate. He's talked about this multiple times. He's mentioned having themed nights where the jerseys are rainbow, or the tape on their equipment matches that of an ally of pride. Said his first thought after scoring his Olympic winning goal was Megan Keller's overtime goal. And half the guys on the team watched the women beat Canada in the gold medal game. Matt says there's a 0% chance any of them are ruining that insanely cool moment. And where I want to give where I wouldn't completely agree with that, there is a 0% chance anyone in that room is going to say, oh, Mr. President, no, bad. That it's an insanely cool moment that if anything made it weird or awkward, it was the president saying, oh, men's hockey team, congrats on your gold medal. I can't wait to have you at the White House, but I guess we got to invite the ladies too. Guess they won gold. That's what ruins the moment. Matt said, if you truly think they should have stepped in and made a moral stand, you're out to lunch and are missing the bigger picture of how big a moment this was. And again, I don't know if I'd go that far, but there is a little bit of like, hey, the most powerful man in the world made a stupid joke in one of the most electric, chaotic, wild atmospheres where the last thing I'm thinking after winning a gold medal for the United States is I need to stand up, defend. That's not where your psyche is. You're 6 beers deep in 10 minutes and you just won the gold medal. Out of line joke? Absolutely. Bad joke? Absolutely. Matt says, touch grass, get off social media. Half these kids probably don't even know the 3 branches of government. But don't turn the unbelievable moment into a social justice crusade. Let the moment live. Well, I'm not entirely on board with he goes a little bit far for me, because I do think the joke is really stupid. Is the expectation that, number one, these guys should step in that moment and hang up on the president. How would you have handled it? Genuinely, put yourself in that situation. 6 beers, gold medal deep. And on top of that, my plea, don't label all of the United States men's hockey players as these misogynistic assholes who hate women. I don't think that's what they're going for. And when you hear the guys talk, a lot of them in one-on-one settings or individual interviews, you hear a lot of them speak on their views about, social issues. And I just don't think, Addie, you mentioned this in a break. It's Jack Hughes' mom, right, that coaches the women's team?
Yeah, Jack and Quinn Hughes' mom. She's an iconic hockey player, and she works with development for the women's team.
Yeah. I think those two guys are in the back of their brain in that moment. I don't mean to speak for them completely, but they're probably both thinking, that was messed up. Didn't like that. What are they, that's my mom that the president's talking about. And even in that moment where their mom had been disgraced by the president, I'm not going to call them a coward for not stepping up in that room of 30, 40, 50 people, stealing the phone from the FBI director's hand and hanging up on the president and making a bigger moment out of that. Of the last, Addie, of the last 12 minutes, am I off base? Where do I sit here?
No, I don't think you're off base. I just think the problem is, and I read the comments on the post, it's all, this is just, locker room, funny guy stuff. But it's just like at a certain point, that excuse just gets really annoying. Like, it is kind of a stupid excuse. I'm not blaming the guys' team, but, like, this is just the sort of behavior that we see all the time, like, from the person who was on the phone. Like, it's nothing new. It's nothing different. This is what we should expect, which is a sad reality, by the way, that we expect that. Yeah. Like, I wasn't shocked by it, but I don't think they were going to be like, no, don't say that. But I know when somebody, like, one of my friends says something out of line, I'm like, oh, nope, can't say that. Nope, can't say that. Even if it's in a lighthearted manner, like, oh, nope.
Yeah.
And so I just, at a certain point, and especially knowing some of the people on that team, I'm just like, well, it is what it is. That's just unfortunately reality. So it's frustrating.
That's great perspective on, and again, it's weird to make it political, but I think this is, we can kind of wrap our heads around this. If Barack Obama or George Bush had gotten on the phone and been like, yeah, congrats on the gold medal. Sucks we have to invite the women to the White House. It would have been repulsive. Like, it would have been, front page of the news would have been, holy crap, did you hear what the president said? But this is more like, he would say that. I could see that, actually, this time around. Maybe that's why the headline is more on the guys than the president himself, is because that's where it's expected. And a lot of people wanted the players to step in. They didn't, and I can visualize the perspective of why and what that locker room situation was like. Thanks, Addie.
Of course. Got you.
Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. When we return. You ready? PJ Glasser joins the show. Sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed services, veterans and their families. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members of the mission. This is the Drake Toll Show.
How
Is there something wrong and you can't put your finger on it? Right then, roll to me.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Oh, do you feel it? College basketball. We are 7 days away. No. February's got 28 days. We're like 4 days away from March. March brings the madness, but in the meantime, the madness is both on and off the court. Darren Peterson of the Kansas Jayhawks, who beat Houston, upset Houston 69-56 last night at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Darren Peterson plays college basketball and might be the number 1 overall draft pick to the NBA come a few months from now. But the reason you say plays is because he doesn't always. Habit of checking himself out and load managing his own health to hopefully still go number 1 overall in the NBA draft. And now PJ Glasser. PJ, I've been told to call you Peter Jose, but I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to offend you yet. But Addie Bates has given me permission and says that I should. Producer at VSiN, host of Game Day Garage and Hoops in 5. PJ, thanks for joining the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Drake. Yeah, Addie likes calling me Peter Jose. I like calling her Adelaide. So if you want to throw that at her every now and then, you feel free to go ahead.
That'll do it. I love it. PJ, let's start with some of the top teams in the country. And before we get to the Houston Cougars and what happened last night against the Kansas Jayhawks, Birdie tells me you were at Duke, Michigan on Saturday. Are those the best 2 teams in the country right now?
I think so. It was great seeing those teams in person. I've actually seen Duke a couple times in the last week. I went to Cameron to see them against Syracuse. So I've seen Duke in their last 2 games. Their defense is probably the best in the country. Cameron Boozer is one of the best players in the country. I really wanted to see what their guards looked like. You know, last year, I mean, they had 4 freshmen that are all in the NBA right now. They had 3 lottery picks, Cooper Flagg, Kaman Malawach, and Con Knipple. This year, it's un-Duke-like. You know, we're used to them having guards that are going to be lottery picks, and they don't really have that. They have guys that have been in the program a couple of years, in Caleb Foster and Isaiah Evans. So watching those guys the last couple games, and again, defensively, how good they are, if they can get scoring out of those guys, Duke's going to be really tough to beat. Michigan, you know, I thought their star player, Yaxel Landenborg, had some interesting comments after the game talking about how Duke's defense is so much better than anything that they've seen in the Big Ten, which I thought was really interesting because even though maybe the Big Ten doesn't have a lot of elite defensive teams, Michigan State's pretty good. I just thought those comments were pretty interesting. And I think moving forward, that was actually a great test for Michigan for them to get some experience like that on a neutral floor and against a really good team like Duke. So I do think both teams are the best. I would expect both to be in the Final Four. But if they were to play a rematch again, I would like Michigan in that rematch.
I love that. PJ, I think in Arizona, UConn have proven to be in that conversation as well at the top of college basketball. The way that UConn is playing lately is their best basketball of the year, which is convenient going into March. In the meantime, the Kansas Jayhawks are such an ebb and flow, and they've kind of been that way, tracking them since that North Carolina game earlier in the year where they lost by 13. And a bunch of this, to me, spans from the Darren Peterson controversy, not knowing if he will or won't play, the lack of continuity. And there have been multiple national analysts who have said, just bench him, just cut him, just be done with this for the rest of the year. Do you think Kansas is better without the distraction of Darren Peterson?
It's the $1 million question, you know, and they're going to be such a head case to figure out when the brackets come out and what to do with Kansas. I'm leaning more so towards fading Kansas, Drake, than I probably would be backing them, just because, you know, we have to remember that the NCAA tournament isn't played in Lawrence, Kansas. It's not played at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. You know, it's played on neutral sites. Now, Bill Self and Kansas are 41-0 now on Big Monday on ESPN. So those situational spots, that game that they played in last night, Bill Self has never lost in those kinds of games. When he's played a conference game at home on a Monday, never lost, 41-0. So I think we have to remember that, and we have to remember how good Kansas is at home and how they usually never lose at home under Bill Self. Now, Peterson's a heck of a player, and having a guy like that usually helps you more than it hurts you in March. I just personally think even when he's out there or when he's not out there, again, I think Kansas, when they're at home, they're such a different team than they are when they're on the road. So I personally want to see Peterson play because I do think he's going to be the number one pick. He's an amazing talent. And I think having a guy like that, especially in March, when you're going to need somebody who gets you buckets late in games, and he's been able to show the ability to do that, I think it's going to help them. But, man, it's going to be interesting, especially in the tournament. You know, if he plays one game and then he doesn't, or he plays and then he's out in the second half, kind of the stuff that we've been seeing. But they're going to be an interesting team to watch. There's no doubt about it.
Do you feel as though they're the most dangerous team in the Big 12 if Peterson is out there? Where does that conference sit as far as having legitimate Final Four contenders? Because the top end of that league is elite.
It really is. I want to say it's Houston, but the problem with Houston, they're 23-5 this year, and all 5 of their losses have been against the 5 best teams that they've played, right? So it was Kansas last night, it was Arizona, it's been Iowa State, it's been Tennessee. Like, I want to say it's Houston because on a piece of paper, you look at the metrics and everything. I mean, they check a lot of boxes, but they just have not been able to beat a lot of the high-end teams in college basketball. Arizona, there's a lot to like with them as well, but their head coach, Tommy Lloyd, since he's been in Tucson, he's had a lot of great teams. He's never gotten past the Sweet 16. Iowa State is very similar with TJ Otzelberger, where he's had some good teams, but he really hasn't been able to get over the hump. And then obviously we're just talking about Kansas and kind of the ups and downs with Peterson. So you're right. The top of the league is loaded. Texas Tech's interesting too, but with JT topping out for the year, I don't really like them anymore. If you had to ask me today, I would still probably lean towards Houston. But again, man, now that they haven't been able to beat any of these top-end teams, you do wonder if all these Big 12 teams are going to fall short in the tournament.
PJ Glasser at PJ Glasser9 on Twitter on the Drake Toll Show here, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Before we get you out of here, PJ, the Miami of Ohio basketball team has garnered a bit of attention here and there, and as they should. 27-0 this season. What do people need to be tracking about this story as we head closer to March?
Yeah, it feels like there's one team like this every year, kind of a mid-major darling that just, is having an unbelievable season this year. It's the Red Hawks. Travis Steele's been a coach, at some big schools. He's been a coach at the Big East before at Butler, but he's kind of had a renaissance in Oxford this year in Ohio, and they're having an unbelievable season. Really good offensive team, Drake. They can really score. And what's impressive now is, once you start to get to 19-0, 20-0, 21-0, and everybody takes notice, you're taking everybody's best shot. And despite that, this team has been still able to win every game that they've played. So right now they're projected to be about an 11 seed. And like you said, they're undefeated. I'm hoping that even if they don't win their conference tournament and get the auto bid, that they're still in the tournament. Because when you go 27-0, if you finish the season like 31-1, and you don't get in the tournament for like a 17-13 SEC team, I just think that's criminal. So I hope they continue to win. They continue to have a great season, and then they get to be on the national spotlight because they're a really fun team that they can really shoot the three. They can really score.
PJ, incredibly appreciative of your time hopping on the Drake Toll Show, giving us context in college basketball. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Again, at PJ Glasser9 on Twitter, host for Game Day Garage and Hoops in 5, and producer at VSiN. Yeah, write it down. Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawks, the number one team in the MAC. And you didn't think you cared. Why would you care? Peter Suter, Antoine Woolfolk. What's the point? I don't know those names. I don't know Miami of Ohio. I know Miami, but not of Ohio. But they're undefeated, 27-0 this season. And that's the team with Brant Byers and Peter Suter to track in March as your fun Cinderella that could make noise. They haven't lost a game. Granted, they are playing a MAC schedule against Bowling Green, Akron, Western Michigan, and Buffalo, but they haven't lost a game. When we return, idiots of the day. Those idiots of our day today are many. And we'll also talk a little bit more about the NBA and the future of LeBron James from Sean Little, who joins the show. Addie Bates produces from Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Idiot of the Day is on the other side, followed by Sean Little. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single weekday right here. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, and even you can get involved by calling 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Too much of that old whiskey river leaves a young man feeling old. That old love you still remember, cut you deep down in your soul. Lost that girl down in New Orleans, chasing some old voodoo dream. Levee broke on Whiskey River, got me trying to swim upstream. Getting tired of going crazy, headed back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of this river, though it drowned me in the sea. Shotgun Willie on stereo, words speaking right to my heart. If I keep reaching for that bottle, it's gonna tear my world apart. Getting tired of going crazy, heading back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of that river, or it drown me in the sea. One more cup of coffee, old cafe tomorrow. Put my head together, ride my Cadillac back home. Getting tired of going crazy, heading home to Tennessee. I crawl on out of that river, or it drown me in the sea. Oh, it drowned me in the sea. could write you a song to make you fall in love, I would already have you up under my arm. I used up all of my tricks, I hope that you like this, but you probably won't. You think you're cooler than me. You got designer shades just to hide your face, and you wear them around like you're cooler than me. And you never say hey or remember my name, and it's probably cause you think you're cooler than me.
It's the Drake Toll Show. It's 5 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles. Somebody in Redding, California right now is driving their car listening to the show. And they just found out the worst news of their entire life. And they've been greeted with Mike Posner. Such a good song, man. Probably what that song's got to be pushing. It's 15 years old. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Or worse, or more.
I think it's more, but I don't want to look it up because then I think it's going to make me feel old.
Time marches on, man. I read something yesterday where...
Nice.
Yeah, try that, Floyd Mayweather. Come on, Leah Michelle. Now what, huh? George Washington. Bet you wish you could do that. I read something yesterday. I read somewhere where the span of a summer break for a 5-year-old, okay, so May to September, is the exact same, in like time, the way our brains work, in time, is the exact same amount of time from the time you're 50 to when you're 60. The time speeds up so much in your old age because everything's new to you. You're learning so many new things at the age of 5 that time slows way down. And you always felt like you had more time when you were a kid. But that's actually, like, part of it is your life genuinely, from this like some kind of psychological thing, starts speeding up on you. And one summer as a 5-year-old is the same length of time in your brain as 10 years when you're 50. It's crazy.
Sorry, in my head, I'm still just going, if I could write you a song to make...
No.
I'm sorry. Like, I can't now.
You're supposed to be in tune with what the knowledge that I'm ball dropping on you.
It's like blah, blah, blah. Backstory, proper name, face story, backstory and stuff. That's all I hear right now.
What is that? What is that you're saying? Is that English?
It's like, yeah, do you know the...
So the Bad Bunny halftime show you're singing? You're singing the Bad Bunny halftime show, aren't you?
Yeah, I was. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, yeah.
Curtis, how does it go? Yep.
We got a lot of just noises on this show. I still can't get over it. Was it the top of the last hour that I just let out a big moan?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't either. I don't know what that was.
Touch yourself.
I have to apologize.
Yeah. The opinions of Drake Toll do not reflect the opinions of the entire channel.
Yeah. There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Are you a big teams guy?
Me?
Curtis or Addie?
Either of you. Yeah.
No, team sucks.
Hate
really?
teams.
Don't like teams, huh?
Can't stand teams.
Okay.
Noise makes me angry when I hear the little startup noise when you forget to turn it off.
I don't even know what that means. My teams does not have a startup noise. I'm just tired of, I have Teams, I have Workshop, I have Outlook, I have Sony CI, I have Canva, I have, just the amount of things I have to write and communicate on are just astronomical. What a man got to do?
Well, the good thing is that you finally have Outlook on your phone. You know how to work Outlook now. So
the next 6 days.
For the company until he has to relog it.
Then it's over.
Correct, yeah. The company asked Addie to do my calendar for me, which I was very thankful for, by the way.
Secretary Bates.
Did you enjoy that task?
No, but no.
Say, what do I have at 3 o'clock today?
That feels so demeaning. Like, I just feel like...
Does it feel like I'm the president? I'm calling the U.S. hockey team?
I'm like, this is what I went to school for, is to tell Drake he has a haircut at 3 p.m.
I would like a haircut before our games in Tallahassee this weekend for Banana Ball, which are fun.
I thought you got a haircut last week.
I know, but
you got one at, 10 a.m.?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Because then afterwards you had to go to Kroger to go get steaks, but you had a meeting at 11 o'clock, and you were ready at 10:53 to start the meeting.
And see, you would know all this because you are my secretary. So
Exactly.
thank you for keeping me in check and having my schedule at all times at the ready.
Got you.
It's time for Idiot of the Day.
Idiot of the Day.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Our first idiot is just whatever this interaction is. So I mentioned earlier, Josh Pate had the president on, Donald Trump, and how I don't think I care. The president did not call us to be on this show. And if he did, that's a whole different conversation of I just don't. A lot of people are up in arms about this. I don't care enough to be mad. I don't care enough for it to enter my psyche and be something I think about or care about that much. Because when I walk into my house, I have 2 dogs and 3 cats that are roaming the area right now. And I get to pet those dogs. And then I walk outside, and my lawn hasn't grown very much because it's been so cold in Savannah, Georgia, and I can just bend down and touch grass. I can go get breakfast. I can go have a beautiful morning. And some people out there will be very mad that Josh Pate interviewed the president. I don't think I have time to care that much. But Sean Knows Bale tweets this, and he paraphrases the interview with Pate and Donald Trump. And Pate says, in essence, you're so good at separating personal disagreements with business and working with people who have said bad things about you. How do you do it? And Trump, paraphrase response, I actually don't do that. I hate my enemies and attack them regularly. And I thought, okay, this is a guy just making a parody. There's no way that's actually what happened in the interview. Yeah, believe it or not, it's a real question. It actually kind of how Donald Trump responded. Here's how the question and answer went between Josh Pate and DJT.
You frequently have to be face to face with people who have maybe said not such nice things about you in the past. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've said things their way in the past. Yeah. And there's this separation. It's always fascinated me because normal people aren't really capable of the separation of business and personal. Right. And I watch you do it all the time. And I mean, is that instinctive? Is that something you need to have? Is that something you can learn? Because it's not normal.
Well, when I do that, I mean, you're talking about like some people that you don't like and you're dealing with them, but I'm not so good at that. I usually go after them. I shouldn't go after them, but I do. I tend to probably do it. I don't know if that's good or bad. Nobody's ever going to figure that one out. But no, I have a lot of people I don't like, and I have a lot of people I like a lot. And, I'm very loyal. I'm loyal to the people that I like.
Pate Pate mentioned it would not be a political conversation, and that wasn't a question about sports. It's very funny that he asked him, hey, you are such a kind human being to all creatures. You love people, and you're so nice to your enemies. How do you do it? And the president's like, I'm not. I hate them. No, I actually am really bad at that. Pate's like, yeah, normal people are good at separating that kind of stuff. Normal people are really good at that. Trump says, well, I'm not. No idea what you're talking about. I hate my enemies. Awesome. Idiot of the day. This guy in Massachusetts, they had their snowstorm yesterday. I hope everyone's okay from the snow. He drove over, the tweet you sent me, Addie, says he tried to drive over down power lines. No, he did. He drove over down powered lines. And it ended as you would expect with an explosion. PSA, Addie, if I may, don't drive over down power lines.
Good. We do endorse that message.
Okay. Anything else that I should know on down powered lines?
Yeah, I feel like, just don't play with them. Don't touch them. Don't bend over and touch grass and power lines like that.
Wow. Don't play with them. Don't touch them.
Touch
don't
yourself.
Bend over. Okay.
What could I say?
You did say. You said a lot. Message received here. Idiot of the day on the Drake Toll Show. What? Do you want to...
This is Addie's favorite part of the song.
I didn't realize Curtis still had me up. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. Great. Idiot of the day. Everyone. Because now I don't know what to do. So the guy with Tourette's yelled the N-word, which you should never do. A slur. He yelled a slur. at the BAFTA. I don't really know what the BAFTA is, but it's a film awards thing. And the guy, John Davidson, that yelled the N-word, that everybody's mad at. Like, okay, if your tick when you have Tourette's is racism, then don't go in public. So you either, in this situation, hate the disabled, or you love the disabled, and you're okay with racial hate. So it's tough. But the guy who yelled the word said, I appreciated the announcement to the auditorium in advance of the recording, warning everyone my tics are involuntary and not a reflection of my personal beliefs. Heartened by the round of applause that followed the announcement, felt welcomed and understood in the environment. In addition to the announcement by Alan Cumming, the BBC, and BAFTA, I can only add that I am and always have been deeply mortified if anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or carry any meaning. Spent my life trying to support and empower Tourette's with empathy, kindness, understanding from others. I'll continue to do so. I chose to leave the auditorium early into the ceremony as I was aware of the distress my tics were causing. All right, Daddy, you picked. Do you hate the disabled or racial hate?
Oh my gosh. What a loaded question.
Uh-huh. Now what?
You first, Drake Toll.
You stopped beating your wife yet?
Golly. Wow.
You're too young for that one. You don't get it, do you?
Yes,
that has a Westwood One tie to it. Has a Westwood One tie.
I'm too young.
So I feel for the guy who has Tourette's. He can't control what he's yelling, but he was yelling slurs at this event, and he left himself. And people were really mad at the guy with Tourette's. He has to yell because that's how Tourette's works. Idiot of the day, Tarek Skubal. Scheduled to face Great Britain on March 7th, so in a couple of weeks, in the World Baseball Classic. But it will be his only start. Addie, why is Tarek Skubal not playing more games in the World Baseball Classic?
Part of it's like an injury concern, just, wants to make sure he's fresh for actual MLB season. But the thing is,
who cares,
we don't need
man?
We
This is
don't need
America.
him. Yeah, we do not need him for Great Britain. We could literally throw anyone out there. Literally anyone. Put Curtis and myself out there. Curtis will take the first 4 innings. I'll take the last 5. It'll be great. Oh, sorry, Curtis.
Hold on. Why would you want the starter to go 4 and the closer to go 5?
Because, it's kind of like what the Rays did when they had an opener. Do you remember back in the day when they had an
yeah.
opener? You just have one guy come out there and fire some stuff off for an inning, and then you just do some random stuff for the rest of the game.
Which, come to find out, stupid. Really,
yeah, but that's what we're going to try it.
Stupid.
That's what we're going to try it. Maybe we'll have one of the coaches of Team USA on this show, and we can pitch them this idea.
Where are they playing the World Baseball Classic? Miami?
Houston. Japan.
Oh, this is like an international. They play it in multiple countries.
Yeah, it is called the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, but no, they usually play at like one facility. Like they
No,
go to
they do
Miami
not.
and just play the games at Lone Depot.
They do not.
I think you're wrong.
You can think that for sure.
I
It's
would
only,
know. I'm from the world.
I only work for MLB Network Radio.
Huh. You got me there. That is a bit of a problem with my case. Final idiot of the day. Nike? I usually like Nike. It's kind of sad. Team USA hockey jerseys can't be found to purchase anywhere after surge in interest following men's 2-1 gold medal game win over Canada. Devin Henderson, Dan Shanoff combined to write an article saying if you're looking for Team USA hockey jerseys to buy after the men's team won its first gold since the Miracle on Ice, you're out of luck. There aren't any to find. Nike, which handles the manufacturing of hockey merchandise for Team USA, did not produce enough stock because Canada, not the United States, was expected to win Olympic gold. You read that right. Nike did not believe in the United States of America and did not think they would win gold, so they didn't produce that much from a merchandising standpoint, assuming the U.S. would lose and there would not be a high demand for 2026 USA hockey jerseys. However, USA Hockey is do or die. And now after winning, many Americans wanted exactly that, a USA Hockey jersey. And they won't get it. Nike drops the ball. So your idiots of the day today, whatever that Josh Pate, Donald Trump question was, the guy who drove over power lines in the snow in Massachusetts, Tarek Skubal for pitching against Great Britain, and Nike, because they won't release Team USA hockey jerseys. Please do, at some point. Addie Bates produced. This is the worst part of the song, by the way. This is the worst part of the song.
Addie's
The
favorite
squeaks.
part.
The weird little horns and squeaks. Yeah. It's like the Kahoot theme song had a child with chaos.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing's terrible. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we return, buckle up. Get ready. Sean Little joins the Drake Toll Show. What's the future of LeBron James? Is Giannis Antetokounmpo a lifelong Buck? And wait a second. Can the Golden State Warriors compete? Yeah, those Golden State Warriors in the West. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. And this is the Drake Toll Show.
The Cowboys are reportedly open to trade.
Hello.
What's up, Sean? You got me? Oh.
Yeah, I got you. Let me close this blind real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We're being corrected?
What's up?
What up, Sean?
What's up, dog? It's the good word.
Dude, welcome to the Drake Toll Show.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, dog. You're doing a bang up job. Wait, Nike won't release the hockey jerseys? I don't understand.
No, they didn't produce enough of them, thinking that the U.S. would lose, which that's on them. What do we? 4 minutes out, Curtis. Cool. Yeah, Sean. I'll just go storyline to storyline of the NBA. I'm a Spurs guy, so we'll camp out there for a bit too.
Yeah, they looked awesome last night.
Yeah, they did. All right.
Alexa off.
For the next couple minutes, and we'll roll in.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct. It did not. I don't know.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin.
Hey, Sean, is that the mic that you're using? I just don't know how far away it is from you.
Yes, it is. It's right here. I don't sound
okay,
sharp.
Okay, cool.
How do I sound? I'll look something like this.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
To the brain.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Man. You know, like the hockey thing happened, the Olympics happened a couple weeks ago, was the Super Bowl. You forget, no one's talking about the Super Bowl. It happened and then went away, and then we decided, I don't know if we all collectively really cared that much. Maybe we should have. But somewhere buried in there, somewhere where the storylines should have been clearer, bigger, highlighted, is the NBA. All-Star Weekend. Those festivities, world, stripes, stars, all of it. And a guy who's followed all of it, a ball watcher, a ball knower, call himself a ball talker. Sean Little at Chicago Flow on Twitter, host, analyst, NBA TV, Action Network HQ, no catch-up pod, and he joins the show. Sean, I'm going to take you back a week to a dead storyline that I'm bringing back right now because I can. The NBA All-Star Weekend. Was it a success in this new format?
Absolutely. You're bringing it back up a week later, aren't you? Have you ever talked about an All-Star game, especially with the main focus being a Sunday a week later? Not in a long time. So maybe back to Chicago when they went to the Kobe score and they had a really, really good game. But even then, didn't get talked about too much after. Yeah, it was a success with the new format. I think any angle you could find some competition with the world versus old guys versus young guys and the world versus the Americans, I think you found it. And that's what brought the little competitive edge. Now, the dunk contest and all that stuff is a little bit of a different story, but Sunday was awesome, competitive, and a lot of fun.
In the NBA, the storylines, at least for me, have revolved around futures of different stars, assorted stars. Even KD, right, coming out yesterday and talking a bit about the Olympics and his plans for 2028. LeBron is already top of mind for another decision. This happens every 4 or 5 years now, where you wonder, where's LeBron going to go next? Is he a Laker is it more likely he retires at the end of this season, or that he is a Laker next season?
I don't know if I think it might be neither. I don't think LeBron, let's get something out of the way. LeBron James is not going to retire because LeBron James is going to have an entire full season of Jumbotron videos and people patting him on the back and banners and videos from GMs and owners saying how great he is every single stop on the road. It's like that's out. There's absolutely zero chance for me that LeBron James is just going to pack it up and disappear into the abyss. It's just not his style. It's never been his style. Now, the problem with him and the Lakers is he's unrestricted next year. He has a no-trade clause, the only guy in the league that has one, and currently is making $56 million. That's not going to cut it for the Lakers. We're currently seeing what it looks like for two guys to take up 63% of the cap between him and Luka Doncic, and one guy doesn't contribute anywhere near as much as Luka does, and that's LeBron. Next year, Luka starts that bigger deal. His salary goes up. Austin Reeves is on a player option. He's probably going to opt out because he's averaging 25 points a game and has shown he could score at an insane clip. So he's going to ask for more money. You're looking at a situation where you're going to have to ask LeBron to take a massive pay cut, which he's never done in his career, or soak up 70% of the cap with 3 guys. So that's not a winning formula in the NBA. You can look across the league and see that. So it's a really good question. Does LeBron take a pay cut for maybe Cleveland? Does Cleveland want to deal with LeBron and everything that comes with him coming back to Cleveland? It's a really good question, Drake. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see LeBron taking a pay cut, but it's definitely time to take a pay cut.
Yeah. And I'm lockstep with you. The Derek Jeter, Kobe, there will be a retirement tour for LeBron James. And
no question.
In one of those games, inevitably, he'll score 65 points, and that will be the talking point for the rest of time. Sean Little joins the Drake Toll Show from NBA TV. Sean, the Giannis Antetokounmpo saga has quieted a little bit in the last 48 hours. Nothing brand new, but what a week it was. It's still top of mind for me because the drama was so big of him saying, oh, well, I've always wanted to be a Milwaukee Buck, and the Bucks kind of trolling some of these major NBA reporters. Is this just smoke and mirrors saving face because he's still in Milwaukee, or is Giannis actually married to this organization?
I'm not sure Giannis knows. I think deep down he doesn't want to be there, but he also doesn't want to look like the bad guy. I think it's that simple. Because throughout the years in the NBA, talk to Jay, he could call up James Harden and ask him what to do about getting out of a spot. Like that's not the issue. Throughout the years in the NBA, if you're a big enough superstar and have as much gravitas as Giannis Antetokounmpo does, you pick up the phone and you're typically out of town when you want to be. My biggest frustration with Giannis is this could have been taken care of last year. The whole, like, Drake, the Hail Mary, the last shot at getting this thing back on track in Milwaukee was adding Dame Lillard. That didn't work. They added Dame. They were competing a little bit. Dame blows his Achilles in the playoffs. It's done there. There's no coming back. The Giannis experiment, experiment's a terrible word. The Giannis era in Milwaukee was dead right there. And this was a perfect spot where you could have had a clean break, right? Because you want to be fair to Milwaukee, what you've done for them, the fans, and you want to be fair to yourself where, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to compete for a title here anymore. Let's move on. You could have done that in the summer. You didn't need to make them sign Miles Turner to a massive deal where he's not going to impact potentially bringing another title to Milwaukee. You could have cut it in the summer. They've done right by you in every single way. They gave Chris Middleton that massive extension because you pushed for that. That was your guy. He was on the tail end of his career and essentially was toast when he got that money. So my biggest frustration for Giannis is that they could have had a lot cleaner break after the season. Say, hey, I'm not coming back. Get the most you possibly can for me. Here's the longest runway in the summer going into the season. Find the best deal you can. Here are a couple teams I want to go to. There's no need to drag this out the way that it's being dragged out. Now, Milwaukee's ripped off a couple wins. Cam Thomas shows up. He's scoring 30. Now there's rumblings. Are Kevin Porter Jr., Cam Thomas, and Giannis enough to compete in the East? And it's just not truthful. Sean,
I've been working on like a beer gut here recently. Like I'm doing a pretty good job. Like the last couple of years, I've got it. It's formulating. In medieval times, that would have been so hot, dude. They loved that stuff. Like if you were a little pudgy, if you're a little chubby, awesome, dog. Like that is medieval times.
You had resources. That means you had resources.
100%. You had food.
You could do what you wanted to do, you know?
Dude, some idiot comes along and they look at you know, a little fat and they say, that's ugly. I hate that. Oh, that everything had to change. Because one guy said, I don't like the way that looks. Everything's got to change, and now we all have to be super skinny and work out all the time. We didn't think it was a problem, Sean, until people started telling us it's a problem. When I think about tanking in the NBA, the more we talk about it, the more we think, oh, that's a problem. We gotta fix tank. It's ruining the NBA. It's like 10th on the list of things that I would change today about the National Basketball Association to make the product even better and continue its growth. Am I off there? Is tanking a serious issue, or are we just talking about it so much we're making it bigger than it needs to be?
That's a really interesting point because it is now a very hot button topic, but it's been going on forever. Like tanking has always been a thing. Tanking is going to be very difficult to eradicate. It's something that the NFL hasn't had to deal with until towards the very, very end of the season. And even some teams don't cooperate in the tank when they absolutely should. Anything that's talked about as much as the tanking situation has been becomes a bigger deal than maybe it is. But I do think if you're a basketball guy like me and you're looking at the schedule today, there's almost 10 games on, I believe, tonight, and 4 are watchable. I think you have a problem if that's the issue. If you're a fan and you want to watch basketball and you can only watch 40% of the schedule because the other 6 you can't figure out who's going to play, who wants to play. Yusuf Nurkic for the Jazz, this is going to be out. It looks like he got like a nose job, like a rhinoplasty. It's a half joke, but he's now out for the rest of the year. It is a stain overall on the league, but I mean, it's been happening for a long, long time. And it works. Look, this is the biggest problem with tanking. It actually works. You go look at the Spurs. You tank to get David Robinson. You tank to get Tim Duncan. You tank to get Victor Wembanyama. They all 3 of those guys changed your franchise a complete 180, and you know that at being a Spurs guy. So it's a problem because it's now starting to happen earlier and earlier. I think tanking used to be like a thing that happened in March.
Yeah.
Late March. We got guys tanking.
We do it all year now.
We got guys taking before the All-Star game. There are people taking in January. So it's getting worse. I'm interested to see what the commissioner does with it. But yeah, I do think it's a hot button talking point when it's not. I mean, it's pushing like 8-9 teams, Drake. I think that's why it's also becoming a bigger topic.
Yeah. Sean Little joining the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Last couple I got for you here. The San Antonio Spurs, saw it again last night. They look like, and especially the way they played Oklahoma City, a serious finals contender. What might hold the Spurs back from going to the NBA Finals and winning it all?
Yeah, it's a good question because if you've been watching the Spurs a ton like me, you know that they don't need Wemby offensively to go crazy either to compete. The only thing that maybe can derail them is what you saw last night is Detroit was physical, and that's their approach to ball. But they didn't have the offense to cap it. Like you can be physical on one end, get the ball back, and if you can't score, then it's a lot for naught. But I think the only thing that could derail them potentially is they get into a physical battle with the team in the West that can also score. So an example would be getting the Nuggets getting Aaron Gordon back in enough time to get acclimated. He plays physical. Jokic will continue to play physical. And then the Nuggets are able to score. They're probably the best offense in the NBA. They're able to score 120, 125, and the Spurs aren't able to keep up in that aspect. That's the only way I think they could be derailed. Oklahoma City, they seem to have that they match up really well for them. I watched every single matchup this year. They're a vast majority of the time, they were just a better, tougher matchup than anybody else in the West for Oklahoma City. And I think it's a little bit of a mental edge for the Spurs they have over the Thunder. Chet Holmgren's not interested in seeing Victor Wembanyama. So I think if they get the physicality they saw last night against Detroit, but that team can also convert that physicality into offense like a team like Denver. Denver's defense is pretty soft as well. So I think they're in a really good spot to potentially come out of the West, just like I would say 3 or 4 other teams.
Sean, this is a stupid question. We are told to not ask stupid questions, but sometimes I do it anyway. My show. Am I an insane person for believing, after what I saw Sunday in the fourth quarter especially, the Golden State Warriors could be a problem for somebody in the postseason, especially after Steph is back from his weird knee thing?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay.
And I think it is and I think it is a stupid question because overall, like I just talked about, there's been a stretch here without Aaron Gordon where the Nuggets have been like bottom 10 defensive team in the league, and they're actually trying to play defense. Like if you go look at the other teams on the bottom of that list, they're not even trying to win games. Denver's trying their hardest here without Aaron Gordon, and defensively they're atrocious. Podziemski went crazy in the fourth quarter. Overall, they like the Warriors aren't better than Minnesota. They aren't better than the Spurs. They aren't better than the Thunder. I don't think they're better than Denver. There's a lot of teams ahead of them. I don't think they can compete. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble winning one round of the playoffs.
No noise from Golden State. I felt it again on Sunday. I was like, you start loosening up the stretch and be like, whoa, wait, what if there are a couple sneaky pieces here for Steve Kerr and company? Sean, incredibly grateful for your time hopping on the Drake Toll Show at Chicago Flow. Follow him on Twitter, Analyst NBA TV. The uptick in the way they use you, by the way, is something that I've followed as well. You're the dude now, and it rocks so much. Sean, incredibly grateful to have you on.
My man, Drake, I appreciate you, big dog. Anytime you want me to come through, I'll stop by.
Absolutely. Love it. Again, Sean Little, you can follow him on Twitter right now at Chicago Flow. When we come back, it is Dead or Alive Tuesday. Why aren't the ladies going to the State of the Union address? Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao are going to fight. And, oh, by the way, don't know if you saw this, but the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement could lead them to a lockout. I don't even care. I don't even watch that. Here's why you should care. Here's why this is hurting American people. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The Cowboys are reportedly...
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra, ey. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. 6 chis, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí. Me gustan mucho las Gabriela, las Patricia, las Nicole, la Sofía. Mi primera novia en Kinder María y mi primer amor se llamaba Talía. Tengo una colombiana que me escribe todos los días y una mexicana que ni yo sabía. Otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía y las de PR que toditas son mías. Una dominicana que juega bombón, uva bombón. La de Barcelona que vino en avión y dice que mi bicho está cabrón. Yo dejo que jueguen con mi corazón. Quisiera mudarme con todas por una mansión. El día que me case te envío la invitación, muchacho, deja eso. Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra, ey. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Ey, muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Titi me preguntó.
Muchacho, ¿y para qué tú quieres tanta novia?
Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. 6 chis, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí.
Oye, muchacho, el diablo azaroso. Suéltese más vivir que tú tienes en la calle. Búscate una mujer seria para ti. Muchacho, el diablo. Coño.
Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo. Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo. Sorry, yo no confío, nah, ni en mí mismo confío. Si quieres quedarte, hoy que hace frío y mañana te vas. Nah, muchas quieren mi baby gravy, quieren tener mi primogénito, ey, y llevarse el crédito. Ya me aburrí y quiero un totito inédito. Uno nuevo, uno nuevo, uno nuevo, uno nuevo. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, voy a romperte el corazón. Ey, no te enamores de mí, no te enamores de mí. Ey, sorry, yo soy así, ey, no sé por qué soy así. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, voy a romperte el corazón. No te enamores de mí, no te enamores de mí. No, sorry, yo soy así, ya, no quiero ser así, no.
Touch yourself. It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You know, my boss came to Savannah yesterday. The vice president of Westwood One, Bruce Gilbert, Westwood One Sports. And you want to know something really silly and stupid? Do you want to know? Only if you
I
want to
do
know.
want to know.
I wanted to ask for consent to share this stupid thing. Similar to how I warned Sean Little that I was about to ask a stupid question. And I was right. It was stupid. I believe, though. I believe in Golden State. I went yesterday to so Bruce Gilbert is at my house in my electric shed. It's like, hey, I'm going to do a podcast real quick. We part ways for an hour. He comes back. I take him to lunch. I want to go to North Beach Bar and Grill. Well, by the way, yesterday in Savannah, it was 46 degrees and 40-mile-an-hour winds. Which did it snow on you? Are you snow over there?
Yeah, we got snow.
Yep, I figured so. So we didn't get snow, but the weather sucked for,
We didn't either, if you were wondering.
Oh, thanks, Curtis, in Santa Monica, California. I'm still living for your ghost. So just terrible weather. North Beach Bar and Grill, closed. Why? I don't know. Mom and pop shop on the island. They're like, we'll just close then if it's cold. That's what beach businesses do. They just close when it's cold. It's like, sorry, Bruce, this is super embarrassing. I guess we'll go to the next place. So I decided, if not North Beach Bar and Grill, let's go to Huckapoo's. They have dollar bills on the wall. If the fire department, which is a myth, by the way, if the fire department walked into Huckapoo's, they'd be the 13th reason. Like they are asking to burn down at any moment, given the amount of just paper and dollar bills and the lack of any infrastructure there. So we show up to that spot, and guess what? they're remodeling for some reason, so we can't freaking eat there. You know how embarrassing it is to have your boss with you in the passenger seat of your Bronco? And
we couldn't have looked up if they were open?
No. I mean, none of these businesses are that. It's just
Google
mom
me.
and pop shops. Yeah, you can't Google that stuff. They don't have, it's not updated by day. They're all open on Mondays, too, so I was a little bit upset. So finally we landed on the Crab Shack. So the Crab Shack started in the 80s, 70s, actually. It was a fishing camp. You ever heard of a deer camp? These people, they all have like a big tin roof and a little house, and they all sleep there. They go hunting deer. There was a fish camp in Savannah off the coast on Tybee Island in what is now the Crab Shack. So the way it started is this dude was just hanging out with his buddies. He was a really good cook, would cook lunch for his friends. They're like, dude, this is so good. You should start a restaurant. People started coming to the fish camp and just asking for lunch because the food was so good. And it became the Crab Shack. And the wildest part is around the fish camp, because they had, fish and the carcasses of the fish, there were hordes of stray cats. So the stray cats still hang out outside of the restaurant and romp and play and maneuver, and there are alligators out there too. And we went and we got lunch, and it was very sweet and very cute, and I asked a lot of questions, and it was nice.
Was there a stray cat strut?
A what?
Okay.
A stray cat strut?
Mm-hmm.
What is that supposed to mean? Is that English?
Yeah, the stray cat strut. That's okay. Sorry, you're too young for that, I think.
Is this like the Super Bowl shuffle?
Yeah, except it was by a real band. I mean, not like a team.
Jump to the left and you shake that hand.
That was a trivia song a couple weeks ago, by the way.
The Scarn? That's how you do the Scarn?
The Super Bowl shuffle.
Oh, really? What was the trivia question?
You had to fill in the blank, like for lyrics. You had to say who it was from and what decade it was from.
Oh, okay. Well, Super Bowl shuffle, Chicago Bears, 1980s.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. Don't you worry. We locked in. We got second
85.
place. We got second place last week, so I'm just saying.
Wild thing that could never happen today is a team releasing its own "We're going to win the Super Bowl" song preseason because they know they're that good, and then winning the Super Bowl. that's a pretty badass, actually.
New York Jets. You know what you have to do.
Jets, Jets. Aaron Glenn, baby, idiot of the day. Drake Toll, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, at Drake C. Toll. I don't usually talk about, I have social media too. You can follow me. Come on. Biggest headlines today that I saw, the United States women's team is declining its invite to the State of the Union address tonight. Oh, well, guess why? Because they are all college kids or in the PWHL, Professional Women's Hockey League, and that comes back in 48 hours. So they have to be on site, training, ready to go to do that. So while the men's team will visit the White House, the women's team got invited to the State of the Union and said, hey, sorry, we just can't do that on a tight turnaround. So we're unable to take that invitation because we have previously scheduled academic and professional commitments. And then people started freaking out. Oh, I cannot believe you would do that. You would not go to the State of the Union address when you've been invited. No, not a political thing. Don't need to freak out. Don't need to freak out here. This is a non-story. That's what I hope you take away from this, is they just needed to go back to college. And you know what? If they did want to, you know what? I think they were making a political statement with this. Okay, who cares? Who cares? The guy that they don't want to see, if that is the case, which they did not say explicitly, it's because they don't want to be there because of the president. That guy said reluctantly he has to invite the women's team. Who just, represented the United States of America and won gold at the top level of the Olympics. Your sister, your cousin, your wife, they win a gold medal. You know how crazy that would be if someone wins a gold medal? Oh, and then the president says that, gross, I got to invite them to the White House. That would suck. It would. WNBA, lockout could be among us. We could see a lockout. They're trying to get a collective bargaining agreement on the table. And you're like, I don't even care about that neither. I ain't watching WNBA. I ain't going to watch that crap. If that is your thought, hey, what if I was to tell you, fill you in, for the first time, the WNBA hit revenue milestones in 2025 that allowed a payout to players of $8 to $9 million. All the players are asking for is a revenue share. Not extra money that doesn't exist. Not, hey, well, we know we're millions and $1 billion in debt. We'd love money. We need more money. No, they're asking for an even revenue share, a higher salary cap and an even revenue share. a bigger, the definition of a supermax to be bigger for them. They're not asking for NBA contracts. They're asking to get the money that they help the WNBA make. Any true red-blooded American can get behind that, right? That if you make the money, that you should get a share of that money. It's why you get paid at your company, because you help that company make money somehow. You drive that truck. You drive truck every day, and when you drive truck, your company makes money, and so you get a portion of that money you made for the company, and it's a fair enough portion. And if it's not a fair enough portion, you know what you do? You unionize. So as much as you may want to hate the WNBA for doing this, hate the WNBA players, and say, you know what, I'm not watching the WNBA. That doesn't matter. The conversation is not about the WNBA. The conversation is about fair compensation. The conversation is about making the money that you work for, and that money not having a cap on it. No truck driver in America's heard of, well, man, they can only pay me $1,000 a week. Them's the rules because the salary cap. You wouldn't like that. The players just want a place to live. They want a place to live, and they want, the money that they make. They want the money that they make in revenue sharing to go to them. It makes a lot of sense. And also, Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Floyd Mayweather in September. They officially have a date on that. In other news, they are reviving the corpse of my great-great-grandfather. And he will be fighting, get ready for this, Fidel Castro. Yeah, they're going to take both the corpses. They're going to put them in a ring. Ding, ding. Let them get after it. That's going to open up the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. It's time for Dead or Alive. Addie, you ready?
Yeah.
Big Kurt, you ready?
Yeah.
Dead or alive, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Think Junior. Addie?
Curtis, you go first.
Alive.
Should I kill him?
Oh, my God. Addie?
Alive.
The infant son of Floyd Mayweather?
I said alive.
No, that just is Floyd Mayweather. No one knows. He's a junior. Yeah, he's alive. Yeah, he's
Okay,
49.
I caught on. I knew that.
Yeah, he's alive. He's 49 years old today. He is a junior. Dead or alive, Joe Lieberman. Addie, U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman.
Dead.
Ooh, Curtis?
I'll say alive.
Yeah, it would have been 84 today. He's been dead for 2 years. But now you just rubbed it in, Curtis. Now his family, they're listening. They did not like that you tried to revive him. They're alive, Addie. Curtis. Stephen Hill. He was an actor on Law and Order, born in Seattle.
I'll go live again.
Okay, Addie?
I was going to say alive, too.
Yep, super dead. Absolutely dead. His full name was actually Solomon Krakowski, but during the Cold War, you can't do that. So he's just Stephen Hill.
If you would have said that, I think Curtis and I would have had it in the bag.
Yeah. 1922 was his birth year, so he is dead. Dead or alive, Addie, Deborah Jo Rupp, actress who played Kitty in That 70s Show.
Oh, alive.
Oh, Curtis?
Let's go dead.
Kitty Foreman is alive, 75 years old. Her birthday is today. She's 75 years old. Big Kurt, George Homer Ryan Sr., governor of Illinois.
Let's go live.
Ooh, Addie.
I'll kill him.
Super dead. Yep, died in 2025. So he's been gone for a second. That is dead or alive. Addie wins again because Curtis has never read a book, doesn't know things. Curtis and Floyd Mayweather and Leah Michelle and George Washington all have that in common. Curtis, anything to read for yourself?
You're making fun of those who can't read.
Addie Bates produces the Drake Toll. Yeah, because it's Floyd Mayweather, Leah Michelle.
And Curtis.
And George Washington. Oh, okay. Yes, and Curtis. But they all make great money. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Culver City, California. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. I am Drake Toll. This has been 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day. Yep, 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now what, huh? 21-hour-long show. This has been
This is Westwood One Sports.